Adobe has announced its AI video project, and it's also teased us with some of the generative AI features coming to Premiere Pro this year. There are three key features that Adobe are adding to Premiere Pro that are going to quite literally change the way we edit and create videos forever. And the first is bringing in generative B-roll directly into Premiere Pro. And what that means is that we'll be able to create extra shots and sequences inside of Premiere without having to go into another AI video tool. They've specifically said that you're going to spend less time hunting for B-roll shots in stock footage and use simple text prompts to generate video clips that are just right for your story. Now you can create a shot that illustrates a difficult to shoot or fantastical concept, generate B-roll that's hard to source, or craft placeholders to assist with planning and pacing. So essentially, what they're talking about is being able to create any shot you like inside of Premiere. Now, what's really exciting is they've not only talked about their own AI Firefly video model, which they are developing, but also bringing in third-party video generators into Premiere Pro. And they have talked specifically about adding in Sora, Runway, and Pika. Here is a screenshot from their explorations where you can see that you're able to select a different model. Next up is Generative Extend, which is if you have a need for more frames, well, no problem. The Generative Extend tool can be used to make shots a little bit longer by generating entirely new frames at the beginning or end of a clip. Use the extra media to fine-tune edits. Hold on a shot for an extra beat or add a few frames to cover a transition. Just click and drag for the perfect edit. So here they are describing the ability to extend any shot that you already have, so that if it's not quite long enough for your desired purpose, instead of having to slow it down or use other non-perfect tricks, you'll actually just be able to add extra frames. Now, this is a really useful tool that will give us a whole lot more freedom when it comes to editing our work. Now, the next tool is particularly exciting, and that's object addition and object removal. What they said is new AI-based smart masking and tracking tools make it easier and faster than ever to select moving objects over time. Combined with the object addition and object removal tools, editors can now replace moving objects in a shot, remove unwanted items like boom mics, bing bing bing, or stray coffee cups. Sometimes you may have noticed that my water bottle is inappropriately positioned within the shot here, and I often berate myself for forgetting to exclude even my dearest water bottle. Pop him on the floor for professionalism, but with the latest AI tools, I won't have to worry about that anymore. Now, we're very lucky because we actually have a demonstration from Adobe where it is showcasing how all of these may work. So let's take a look at that together and break it down into more detail.
Adobe is using the power of generative AI to deliver the most advanced and precise editing tools ever in Premiere Pro. Let's take a look at some features coming soon powered by our new Adobe Firefly video model that'll transform how editors work.
So, one very interesting thing here is that Adobe is generating its own AI video platform where you'll be able to generate videos inside of Adobe. And this can be interesting for a number of reasons. Firstly, Adobe is actually putting itself out there for being more responsible in the space of AI by being open and clear about how its platforms were trained. And that's not something that we've seen very clearly with other AI video generators so far. And my suspicions is that a lot of the existing AI video generators have been trained on YouTube.
One common editing challenge is finding something in a shot you need to add or replace. The Object Addition feature in Premiere Pro, combined with Adobe's Firefly video model, lets you add or change objects in footage with a text prompt.
So here we can see how you will be able to mask out a section of a video and basically use a generative fill for video style tool. So you can see that you'll be able to select the model, either Adobe Firefly, Sora, Pika, Runway, or others, and simply add in a text prompt. In this example, they're demonstrating a suitcase filled with jewels, and here they're asking for a slightly different variation of what is already there. So they've asked for a pile of large diamonds on black velvet cloth.
Make a selection, write a prompt, and add anything you can.
Now here you can see the options that are being displayed. You have 3 variations of these jewels in the suitcase.
Add anything you can imagine.
And as you insert them, you can see that it updates the content inside of the video. Now, what's particularly exciting is that this stays coherent as the video progresses. So as the camera angle zooms out, it actually shows in perspective the jewels.
These diamonds were created by the Firefly video model currently in development. And not only can you add objects, but you can easily remove them too. Object removal with AI-based smart masking makes selecting and removing objects across frames.
So here we can see how the AI is able to identify different elements in a scene so that you can quickly mask these and remove them from a scene. You can just say, adios, senor, you're fired.
Quick and precise. Here, this distracting utility box is removed with remove unwanted props, crew or gear, or copyrighted elements like brand logos.
They're demonstrating a couple of the use cases for this about maintaining adherence to any copyrighted material or even getting rid of more aesthetic, stylistic elements.
And with Premiere Pro, all your edits are non-destructive, so you can always get back to your original footage.
To elaborate on that point, they say that it will be very easy to go back and make changes, that it doesn't mean that if you've edited this video that you're suddenly stuck with this new version of the video, that they will make it so that the process of being able to generate or regenerate elements inside of a video will be simple and non-destructive.
Want to hold on a shot or a character for an extra beat? Generative Extend intelligently adds frames with Firefly.
So this is very beautiful here. The UX that they have for simply adding frames to a shot will be as simple as dragging a clip and extending it in your timeline, allowing you to seamlessly add extra elements, extra shots to your clip. It'll be interesting to see how that works with just a single frame.
Adds frames with Firefly, extending your footage, so you have the exact media you need. Like here, where we extend this shot of the woman a few frames. As we continue to innovate, we're committed to transparency through the use of content credentials, now coming to Premiere Pro, so you always know whether AI was used in the creation of the media you're viewing. We can't wait to bring these Firefly-powered...
Now, this is something I'm a little bit more skeptical about, which is their description of content credentials, which aims to be more clear about when generative AI has been used to create a video. But obviously, I think that will only remain in the video format, and actually there'll be many ways to remove these credentials easily from the video. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that works.
Video editing workflows to Premiere Pro later this year.
So this is particularly exciting, is that we're expecting all of these features to arrive inside Premiere Pro this year. So let's stay tuned for the next 6 months.
There's more. We're excited to share our explorations around giving editors the choice to use models that work best with their footage. Here are some early examples of how third-party generative AI models could look within Premiere Pro, like Pika, powering Generative Extend to make a scene flow better.
I would like to particularly compliment Adobe on their commitment to integrating with third-party apps. And I think that the AI video generators that they are describing, Pika, Runway, and potentially Sora, are all beautiful tools, and it's very useful now to actually understand how well these work and their capabilities, as well as getting your hands on them. And if you're interested to have a closer in-depth look at how each of these tools compares, I recently did a comparison video exploring exactly the strengths and weaknesses of each of these AI video generators. And you can check that out in the description.
From OpenAI, here's an example of their Sora model, currently in early research, generating B-roll for any scene. Through simple text prompts, Sora creates
So here we can see that once you've entered a simple text prompt for a piece of B-roll, you can be offered 3 different shots that you can then select to insert into your project.
For you to choose from.
Here we can see a beautiful video that is purported to have been created using OpenAI's Sora. And you can see that it has a high degree of realism and a very good level of coherence with the composition and also the perspective. Look at the way that this street naturally extends into the distance.
Here's the same use case now using Runway AI's video model, generating a new video clip and adding it to the timeline in a snap. And content credentials coming to Premiere Pro this year will always make transparent whether AI was used and what model was used in the creation of media.
So they're making a song and dance about these content credentials, but I honestly am not hopeful for this being a clear and useful solution to labeling AI-generated content.
Revolutionary features like Object Add, Remove, and Generative Extend, powered by the new Adobe Firefly video model, are coming to Premiere Pro. And we're excited to show early research explorations with our friends at OpenAI, Runway, and Pika, so editors have the freedom to use the best model for their project.
So there we have some very exciting developments coming to Adobe Premiere, really taking the potential for AI video to the next level. Not simply creating small clips in isolation, but actually bringing in generative AI to the full filmmaking process. Now, this really offers us a huge increase in productivity, and it's certainly going to reduce a lot of the editing tedium, remove a lot of the boring and repetitive tasks that recur when editing video. I believe that it will shift the focus to improving storytelling and allowing creatives like you and me to focus on what we enjoy most and really elevate our ability to produce more at a higher quality. And this is what I believe AI is destined to do for us all, until the point that it takes over everything. What? Now, there are a number of very useful AI features already available in Adobe Premiere Pro that you might not be aware of. And one of my favorites is text-based editing, where it automatically transcribes your entire video into text using AI, and then you can simply highlight pieces of text and delete them, and it will make that cut in your video. Now, what I particularly like about this text-based editing is it identifies when there are any long pauses, and it automatically shows you where these are, tells you how long they are, and with a simple keystroke, you can delete them, and it speeds up one of the very repetitive tasks in video editing. Now, there are other very small features that are beautifully interwoven into Premiere Pro. For example, AI audio category tagging, where it automatically tags what type of audio you're using. Now, there is a speech enhancement tool that allows you to increase the quality of your audio, even if it was not recorded in the most desirable settings. So it can help remove background noise, hum, or reduce any annoying S's and P's. And one of the other most beautiful and advanced features that Premiere is already showcasing is Auto Reframe, which uses AI to automatically track the most interesting part of a clip that is in landscape mode and turn it into a portrait video. So that's really great for taking your long form videos and repurposing them as shorts. Now, another beautiful tool that they already have is Morph Cut, which is the ability to easily cover cuts that you have in your video by blending two shots together. Now, this works particularly well if you are removing awkward pauses in a talking head video like this. So I've used it a number of times in this video, and you may have not even noticed, where perhaps I paused for just a moment too long and I wanted to bring in a tighter edit, and I cut out the pause and then inserted a morph cut to cover that cut. The AI video revolution is just getting started, and if you want to follow along for the most exciting developments in AI, then make sure to subscribe and stay updated with me, AI Samson. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching. If you have any feedback on this video, do feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments. And most of all, I wish you a delightful day.